So the first Warzone map, Verdansk, has now come and gone. I'm sure, like me, the rest of you all have great memories of this map, particularly during lockdown times when many of us were left scrabbling for things to do whilst we were kicking around at home. I myself have many, many fond memories of Verdansk, of many, many fun times with friends. So before I let it go, I thought what I'd do is I would bring a video of my final win on Verdansk to begin with. Look at this crazy shot to start off this game. Oof. Straight out the passenger seat of the plane. If anything's worth a sub, surely that's got to be it. If you do want to, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell, and you'll get alerted every single time I upload. I don't just upload Warzone content, I also upload fun Let's Plays, like I'm currently doing a playthrough of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. So in this game, I'm going to be using probably my favourite loadout from the whole time of the Verdansk Cold War edition, which is the FFAR and also the Swiss, two of the best guns to have ever graced us from the Cold War integration, and guns that likely we will not be using once we move across to the Vanguard system. The FFAR, of course, is not as strong as it once was. It was at one point the absolute meta gun, being a pseudo SMG, super fast, good movement speed, and good movement whilst firing. Now it's a little bit slower, following nerfs to, say, the Raider stock, and also the gun itself has had a TTK nerf. However, for this final win, I wanted to make sure I used my favourite guns. The Swiss is a gun I've always used, following its buff partway into the Cold War integration. Normally at the minute I would pair it with an OTS, something I can move with fast and still do a lot of damage to people at close range and cover for where I'm not comfortable using my sniper. But the FFAR is definitely still usable. And as it's one of my kind of favourite guns, and I'm sure it's a little bit of a fan favourite, well, for all of you that didn't die to it too many times. Yeah, so I wanted to use it and just get one final win with my favourite class. So I really hope you enjoy this. You'll see so far we've dropped, this is trios, we've dropped as a trio into farmland. We got that one kill out of the helicopter before the pilot flew away. And we're now just going to proceed into the port area and try and hunt our bounty. We know the bounty is in this red building here. We also saw another team with a helicopter fly on top of the buildings to my left right now, directly in front of me now. So we know there's another team around here. So I'm just having a little hunt around, but I'm constantly looking back over my right-hand shoulder just to make sure that the red building hasn't started peeking and looking my way, because if they did, that obviously would not be ideal. I'm just having a little walk along here. I'm trying to ADS walk or crouch walk. Try and keep my footsteps as quiet as possible, so that if there is a guy above me, he doesn't just look over the edge and shred me. So I'm informed by my team here, just as they downed a guy, that there's a guy down on top of the bridge. And predictably, although I almost mess it up, predictably, the guy who was on top jumps over the edge to try and help his teammate who was downed on the bridge and doesn't expect me to be just down to his left. I almost messed it up though. My aim wasn't particularly great there. Should have hip fired. That is one of the downsides to the FFAR, is of course that it doesn't have particularly good hip fire, as it is an AR rather than SMG. Final guy, we're looking for him everywhere, we know he's around here somewhere. It turned out he was just led, or crouched, in a little corner just below me and hadn't even bothered to rechow. Even after I downed his friend, he still didn't rechow, which was an interesting one. We then see that there's the bounty on top of red was on the roof. It looked like he jumped off, and I think one of my team hit a knock. So I think they're just down below me here. So I'm just trying to see if I can find them in order to do some damage. But I think they got the revive, and they'll now probably be heading heading around the building underneath us. You see there, 2 of them are on heartbeat, so myself and my partner here, there's only 2 of us in the building currently. One of us is still on the old building. But I think we're going to re-chow here together and just see if we can take the 2 of these down. Shouldn't really be an issue. So we're just peeking corners, seeing if we can find where they are. Can't really spot where they've gone. And there he is, he's just sat up in that corner. Thankfully, we did manage to get the spin and do a heck of a lot of damage to him. And as we do, we get knocked, but our spin manages to do enough damage that my friend immediately chows, gets the knock, stops us from being thirsted. And he then gets knocked by the second guy camping in a little corner. But thankfully we get the self off, and as he put a lot of shots into the second guy, we can get up and just spray and take them out, and we both survive to fight another day. Of course at the cost of my self-revive. We then, carry on. We're going to go buy another self, I think. Of course we do have a loadout as well here. But you'll notice there has been a little bit of camping from our opponents here. And it still continues here. With our teammates saw a guy run this way, pinged where he thought he was, and he was sat in the back of this little van, playing like a bit of a bitch. So, yeah, we've had a lot of camping in this lobby, and to be honest, this is what this lobby was like. It wasn't a particularly high-skilled lobby. I think its average came out to be like a 0.9, which is a very low lobby for what we normally get. Normally I face off against 1.3 to 1.4 level lobbies. But yeah, they were lower skilled players, but the way they played kind of made up for it by playing really ratty. Which obviously didn't help them there. So we've picked ourselves up 3 kills here. And we want to continue hunting for more. Obviously between me and my team we've all got a couple of kills each. So we want to try and keep going. And we do spot this guy running across the road here. And unfortunately, I don't manage to get the knock with the FFAR. I do get shot by his teammate just on this corner, so I give my teammate a call out, tell him where he is, and I keep peeking the corner to check if he re-peeks around there. When he doesn't, my teammate comes up behind him and gets him, and then my teammate Julie does the same by flushing his teammate back round towards us, and we pick up another kill. So cutting across, we've now moved across to downtown. You'll see there, as we were coming across from Park into downtown, we found another guy. My teammate Julie shredded him, and then I cheekily stole in, put a couple of bullets in, and got the final hit, which did actually count as my kill, unfortunately, for my teammate. You see on the UAV, there's another man running round, so we just quickly come and intercept him and get a nice close-range snipe into the back of his head for another easy kill, and that's us already up to 6. So we're going to pick up a bounty here and see if there's another team we can push. So you'll notice I've posted videos before of me, of course, dropping 27 in solos. I've dropped a few 20s in solos that I've posted. But in trios and duos, where you'd normally see people getting really high kills, I don't tend to get as many. The reason for that is my team tend to not have quite the same, I'm not going to say skill level, but close range ability as I do, so they don't like getting quite as in people's faces as I do in solos, and being quite as aggressive. They prefer to play tactically and try and go for the win, and that's all fine. Different people play different ways. My team want to go for the win, so we go for the win. But we don't get quite as many kills in trios, unfortunately. But yeah, that's how we like to play when playing as a team. So you won't see a lot of 20 bombs here in trios. You will see a few higher kill games here and there. So we thought we saw someone up on this rooftop. You can see I've climbed up. I'm having a little scout around, and no sign of this player. I actually shot my teammate thinking that he was a guy coming up the stairs. So we're trying to look at where they've moved to, and as we suspected, they've moved across to the fire station. So I knocked one and blew the second. Coming across here with one knocked, drop in, and get the easy hit on this guy by the wall after we'd already damaged him. However, as we're looting, we do get sniped from another building. So I give my team a little ping just to tell them where I think it came from. And then I just hold myself so my teammate can quickly run out, save the money, and give me a little tap. After doing that, replay instantly, get some plates off this looted body, and then proceed on. Obviously always trying to keep cover on our right hand side, as we don't want to be hit with that snipe again. We're now looking here, and we're noticing that we are pretty close to the centre of the circle. We look to be in a pretty good spot circle-wise. So whilst we wouldn't mind getting a few more kills, we don't want to push a long way outside the zone to do it, whilst we're in such an advantageous position. So for now, we're just keeping up a good position, keeping cover, and you'll see I got a nice knock there on the roof. Unfortunately, I couldn't get his teammate as well for the team wipe. But yeah, we're going to continue pushing to the left. There is a King contract player who's pinged up on the map, so we're going to quickly push that way. I'm continuing to get sniped at, and I've taken a little bit of damage from the same guy who knocked me earlier. My short memory there meant I forgot to keep cover on my right after doing so much earlier on. But I get a blue on him, I'll break his shields, and can then proceed on to attack this King. My teammate's already moved up on him, and he gets a nice easy kill, seeing as the opponent's unawares that we were coming. And obviously we knew exactly where he'd be. So we're now just waiting for this zone to close, keeping an eye on these roofs and where snipers could be. Obviously checking all our possible angles, seeing what we can do. And yeah, waiting for the circle to close so we can see where the new zone is. And you'll see here, we're still, whilst we're quite split up, we're still dead middle of the zone. So we have a very good position here. And there's no reason for us really to need to super push people, as everyone's going to be squeezed in towards us. So we can just hold this kind of fountain area, reasonably high ground, and just scope out around the buildings and see if there's any free picks around here. We see this guy on the roof. Get a nice little knock here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hit the first, and the teammate manages to get in there, into the cubby, to give him a revive. Which is frustrating, as that's now 2 rooftop snipes, which we've got the knock but haven't got the finish. But that's just the nature of using snipers in this game. We see this car coming. We hit a nice snipe twice there. You see we hit the first one on the driver, getting a nice blue shield break, and then our second snipe manages to hit the guy with the King contract out of the passenger side and drop him into the road. So we're coming around here just to confirm the thirst. Get a kill on him. Notice he has a claymore, so I just claymore up his body. Something I do quite a lot if the opponent has claymores is put the claymore down on their body, just because people will often drop back in if they come out of the gulag or get bought in, and they'll drop in back on their loot to try and get their guns back. And if you've put their claymore down, it will damage their shields and also alert you that they're there. So it's quite a useful thing for getting information about where teams are. Now we're just moving back up to the park area, just keeping our good position and letting the zone push people towards us. You see, I'm not really keeping much cover. I'm kind of running out in the open, which this isn't the wisest thing to do. You should really keep cover at all times, but I'd noticed that some of the standard of this lobby was pretty poor, and I just wanted to try and kind of bait shots to see if I could get information about where opponents were so I could get some kills. Another nice snipe there. Gets a good knock on the opponent hiding in the corner by the relay tower. We did also see that there was a team closer that was attacking them. The team was close to this little hut here. So I'm just having to scout around, seeing if I can see where they've moved to. Moving around, using these rocks, keeping the high ground, keeping the cover where possible. And we see another guy moving around towards the relay tower here. And then another pushing up and onto this shower block. So the circle closes, and we see that the circle is closed behind us, meaning that we are now between this team and the zone. So we can now hold them out of the zone. As we do so, we see the team is aggressively rushing us. So a guy with Cali sticks there, so I knew he was going to be coming up on me. I got a knock on the deepest person, as the sniper could have picked me off whilst I tried to take out the closest player. Getting that knock was pretty nice, as it meant that then I could now be a little bit more aggressive and push up. Unfortunately, we missed the next few snipes, but we're still going to push up with our FFAR here and see if we can pick off this team. My teammate gets him, and that gets a nice knock. And now we know that the last guy here could be the guy that I've knocked, although that's a finish there. So there's one more of this team somewhere around here that we're just trying to keep an eye out for and try and work out where he is. So my team have pushed back up towards the fountain area. I'm just keeping an eye on the edge of our zone whilst they control the centre. Keep an eye to see if I could see anyone. As there's nothing there, I'm going to push back towards them so we can meet up and play together. So another team has actually pushed up to them and is pushing them quite aggressively. I therefore put my precision down on them in the hope that if a team did push them or got a knock, he wouldn't be able to thirst them, as the precision would keep him away from them. Thankfully they did well, and they kept the team off them and managed to get the kill. So we're going to pop the UAV, just see if we can get any information. I see there's a couple of pings down here. I don't know how that didn't hit, but yeah, there's a couple of pings around here. Around fire station, there's two teams fight, and I'm just getting a nice simple third party. Got a nice snipe earlier, and then a second, and then a third one here. Down in the guy inside the tent, and we get a lovely, lovely 4-piece there from the two teams. And that was almost the perfect third party. Let them be distracted by themselves, and then all we have to do is pick them off with their backs to us. Another lovely snipe there from the guy on the rooftop. Not many players left, of course, only 9 players. Put the precision down to try and get the first, and somehow it doesn't finish him off, which is quite frustrating. He obviously must have crawled just outside of its range. It seems to happen to me quite a lot whenever I put a precision down. Whenever a precision gets put on me when I'm downed, it seems to kill me every single time, but when it happens the other way around, it never does. But what can you do? So as I've already cleared this right-hand side, and my team scouted out the left, and there was nobody there, we can now push aggressively up to this wall and use the head glitches to try and pick off the opponents on the other side of the river. We don't want to push across just yet, as we don't know where the zone will end. So we're just going to maintain this this position, good cover, and play close together to try and pick off the rest of the teams, as we know our back is safe. Watch here is 2 king contracts actually were within the same building there. It took them a little while to kill each other, but thankfully eventually they did, and that leaves us with not a lot. Although there's 2 more kings in there again, so eventually they'll take each other out and leave us with not a lot to go on. Seeing as there's only 6 players left, that means there's a duo, a solo, and then my team's trio. I'm just checking close to us the whole time, making sure that no one's trying to get a good flank on us, making sure we have all our angles covered. Because one thing I'd recommend you don't do is get too focused on one team. If you tunnel your focus on one particular team, it can really cost you. Make sure you're always watching your flanks, your side angles. Do what you can to stop yourself from getting flanked. Because if they're in front of you and you keep them in front of you, you'll always have a chance. So we now know this is the final team. As they jump off, I get a nice hit with the snipe, and my team get the down. I hit the snipe for the first. And then there's one guy left who's now stuck behind this bus stop. We've again aggressively pushed up to zone on the right-hand side, so we have a lovely spot. We stay on the left and hit a lovely snipe to finish them off. So 34 kills for the team. It's not going to win any records, but overall a very fun game and good from a tactical perspective to explain what we were doing. If you've enjoyed my final win on Verdansk, I know I did, please hit a like, please subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.